Hey YouTube, I hope you guys are all doing well. It's Adrian Hunter from over here at Pipe Dream Hookah, and my first order of business is to apologize for anyone who is used to the Fakher series being uploaded on certain Mondays of the month. I just want to tell you guys briefly, as I don't think I've mentioned it on this channel, but up to this point I've been editing all my videos on a machine that isn't really equipped to edit using Premiere Pro, and I ended up like destroying the CPU or something. This guy doesn't work anymore. And luckily I had some videos backlogged to upload for you guys, but I wasn't able to edit any new ones, so I had all this footage that I wasn't able to edit, blah blah blah. Nothing that really matters a whole lot. It just means that where in the last 2 weeks I would have liked to upload 6 videos, including this particular Fakher series video, which should have been uploaded like 2 weeks ago. I would have really liked to get like that and the 5 other videos in the past 14 days up for you guys, but I haven't been able to. So you'll notice that there was a slowdown in my upload schedule. I'm happy to say that this stuff back here, that's a new PC. It's the PC I put together for editing, and I'm happy to say that I'm back on the saddle. I can edit videos again. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and dive into the video for today. Today we're going to be doing Fakher series episode number, I want to say it's 5. If it's not, it'll be corrected in the title of the video. But yeah, it's going to be Fakher series, and today we're going over a request from the Shisha Savage, Sally, to do a review on Fakher Fresh. Normally, Fakher tells you pretty much right off the bat what you're going to be getting from a flavor. Like Fakher Mint, it's just called mint flavor, orange is orange, grapefruit is grapefruit, and so on. But this stuff is saying that it's fresh flavor, and I don't know what that means. So let's go ahead and get into the review, starting really quickly with the setup we're going to be using today. For you guys who are veterans of the Fakher series videos, you know I'm not going to do a packing tutorial because I have dedicated videos to show you guys how I actually pack these bowls, whether I'm using a funnel or an Egyptian bowl. Today I'm going to be using an Egyptian bowl, so there is a packing tutorial in the description. As always, using 3 charcoal flare flats, and then I'm going to be using my usual small setup, which is the Aviator at half mast, and I'm going to be using my Thunder Slim Hose. And that will be my setup for the day. I don't think I missed anything. So let's go ahead and start this review by taking a look at the smell of this tobacco. So let's see what we get. I've smelt this before. Like, I think another brand makes a flavor a lot like this, and I'll get into that in a moment. But if I had to guess what it is just by the scent, what they may have put in here, I'm getting just an assorted berry type of a scent with some type of a mint in the background. It's a very, very light mint. It's not really going to be at the forefront of the scent, but that's definitely going to be there. So I'm getting some type of a berry mint. So before we actually analyze the flavor profile, let's go ahead and get into everybody's favorite thing when we're looking at these shisha tobaccos, and that's going to be the cloud content. Alright you guys, so nothing new with Fakher. These are pretty much going to be the run-of-the-mill Fakher clouds. They're going to be pretty big, nice and dense. Nothing insane like what you get from Trifecta's Dark Leaf, but still they're going to be pretty good. They're exactly what you should expect from any Fakher shisha tobacco. But now let's go ahead and move on to the most important thing when we're critically analyzing any of these shisha tobaccos, and that's going to be the flavor profile. As usual, we're going to do an inhale and exhale. You guys know that they tend to differ just a little bit, so let's start with the inhale. Okay, so Fakher seems to have done a very good job of translating the scent of this tobacco into the flavor of the smoke, at least on the inhale. What you're really going to get is this nice medley of berries. Nothing really stands out in this berry mix. It's going to be a lot like Fakher's berry, if you guys have ever had that. But if you haven't, it's just going to be like a medley of berries. You're going to get a little bit of blueberry, a little bit of blackberry, maybe even some grape and some raspberry. It's going to be pretty generic, and like I got from the scent, you do get a little bit of mint. It's not a whole lot of mint, but it is in there, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and take a look at the exhale. Okay, so on the exhale, what's going to happen is I'm actually getting a little bit more blueberry than everything else. So one of those berries does kind of come to the forefront when you're exhaling this tobacco, and then the mint does come down a little bit. I found that to be the case with a lot of shisha tobaccos, especially all of Fakher's flavors that have mint added. So that's going to be what you can expect from the flavor profile of this tobacco. Now I wanted to go ahead and go over the flavor profile without comparing it to any other brands of tobacco because I find that can be a little bit misleading sometimes. But now I definitely want to compare it to another tobacco because it seems to be going for something else that's pretty popular on the market, or at least it was very popular a few years back. I don't know if any of you guys have had Starbuzz's, one of their flagship flavors. It's going to be called Blue Mist, but that's exactly what this tastes like to me. It tastes like they're trying to go for that Blue Mist type of a flavor, just a really nice generic berry flavor with some cooling on the back end. Take that for what it's worth. I don't think it's a bad thing that Fakher's going for a kind of a rehash of an already existing flavor on the market, but this definitely isn't an original idea, and this is just called fresh flavor, and I'm not 100% sure on this, so don't quote me. I wasn't really able to dig up anything on this, but I think this is the same thing as their fresh mist flavor that they had a couple years ago. I think they just may have changed the name to try to separate themselves from that Starbuzz Blue Mist kind of a trademark. But yeah, that's what you can expect from the flavor profile on this stuff. And as usual, the Fakher is going to take heat pretty well. It is a little bit heat sensitive, so you want to be careful with your pack. Make sure to pack it just underneath the rim so the foil doesn't make contact. In the Egyptian bowl, as usual, you can expect it to go for anywhere between an hour 15 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes, so almost a full 2 round of flats, but not quite. And as far as mixability goes, this stuff mixes really well actually. Just like the Starbuzz Blue Mist flavor mixed with pretty much anything, especially a really good mint, this is going to do the same thing. As a matter of fact, if I could suggest a mix to you guys, I would just say add 20% of Fakher's mint, and that's going to be a pretty solid mix. Now, as usual, I'm going to go ahead and rate this stuff on the 10 scale for you guys, just so you kind of have something to go off of, kind of a summary of what I think of the flavor in case you're thinking about maybe picking this stuff up. So on the 10 scale, I'm going to have to rate this flavor at a solid 6.5 out of 10. Now, as for the reason I'm going to give this tobacco a 6.5 out of 10, the reason it doesn't dip any lower than that is because this is Fakher and this isn't one of their bad flavors. I haven't done any of their bad flavors yet, but you'll know what I'm talking about pretty soon because there are some flavors I have queued up to be reviewed that I have had some interesting experiences with. But this performs very well. It takes heat just like any good Fakher should, and it produces decent clouds, very good flavor, and a very nice scent as well. It mixes pretty well. Unfortunately, the reason it's not going to go any higher is because I do feel that they are almost intentionally ripping off the Starbuzz Blue Mist flavor. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that coming from an objective standpoint, but I don't know, it just seems kind of unoriginal and maybe a little bit uninspired. For a little while there, Blue Mist was a flavor that everyone was picking up. It was a very popular flavor, especially in lounges. So it seems like maybe Fakher was trying to ride those coattails a little bit. I'm not really sure, but if you're into a flavor like something like a mixed berry with some mint in the background, or if you're a Blue Mist smoker and you want to try a different take on that flavor profile, I would actually highly recommend this to you. But if you're kind of over the Blue Mist thing and you don't necessarily want to have a mixed berry, kind of a generic sweet smoke, I would say you could probably pass on this stuff. So take that for what it's worth. But there you go. That should just about do it for this review on Fakher's fresh flavor, or previously known as Fresh Mist, I do believe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, happy smoking.